So here's how I like to think about it. A class leader guides the class. A coach guides the person. And I want to be clear, you can do both, and one is not better than the other. In fact, great coaches often start as great class leaders, but it's about the shift in intention that makes the difference. Welcome. Stick around if you want to learn about the art and philosophy of beautiful movement mixed with evidence-based exercise science. We will be having tough and inspiring conversations with other coaches, experts, artists, and athletes. Our goal is to challenge myths, explore concepts, and engage in healthy debate as we dive deep with intrigue and curiosity. I'm your host, Hannah Deutscher. I've been teaching dance, Pilates, and yoga for over 2 decades. And what I've learned is that movement can be the joy that integrates us all together. When we can trust and express ourselves through our bodies, we are unlimited in our ability to change ourselves and our communities for the better. We, as movement teachers and coaches, have the power to help people experience this for themselves. Okay, everyone, let's dive in. Exchanging ideas and changing people's lives one session at a time. This is the Pilates Exchange. Hi, friends, and welcome back to the Pilates Exchange. This is where we dive deep into the art of teaching, the science of movement, and everything in between. I'm your host, Hannah, and today we're talking about a shift that can completely change how you teach and how your clients experience their time with you. This episode is for movement professionals of all kinds, whether you're teaching Pilates, bar, yoga, or any body-based practice. And it's a conversation about moving from being a class leader to being a coach. Now, before we go any further, this is not about a hierarchy of these things. Being a class leader isn't less than. There's absolutely 100% a place for a well-planned, beautifully executed movement class. But I want to explore what happens when we go just a little bit deeper, when we move from delivering a workout to just truly guiding a transformation. And what does that even mean? So let's just go through maybe what a difference in my mind between leading a class or a class leader and a coach. A class leader is someone who plans, delivers smoothly, and keeps the energy flowing within the class. They cue clearly, they offer modifications, and they make sure everyone is moving safely and effectively. And that is a huge skill. This is valuable, and you need this as a foundation. And that's great. That's perfect, right? But a coach is going to go just a little bit further. A coach sees the person behind the movement. A coach listens, adapts, and asks questions. A coach helps clients reflect, connect, and evolve, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally too. So here's how I like to think about it. A class leader guides the class. A coach guides the person. And I want to be clear, you can do both, and one is not better than the other. In fact, great coaches often start as great class leaders, but it's about the shift in intention that makes the difference. So it's not just filling the hour, you're creating a container for growth. So here's the thing. Most clients aren't just coming to feel the burn. They're coming to your classes because they want to feel better. They want to feel stronger, more confident, more connected to themselves. And coaching taps into the why they're there. Maybe it's post-injury recovery. Maybe it's to feel safe in their bodies again. Maybe it's to build a habit that lasts. Whatever it is, coaching opens the door to that deeper connection of their why. I'm going to give you a couple real-life examples. A client of mine had been taking Pilates for a while, but she didn't feel like she was making any progress. So instead of jumping into new exercises or pushing harder, I asked, what does progress mean to you? And for her, she said, this was mind-blowing for me. She said, honestly, just feeling like I belong here. And that shifted everything. She just wanted to feel like she belonged in that Pilates space, right? That we treat her and see her like the athlete, like she is. And that was progress for her, from coming into never having moved and being actually bullied as a child within sports and the gym classes to knowing that she has a place to experience her body in the Pilates class, and she belongs absolutely in those classes. That mind-blowing, right? And that is huge progress for her. It shifted everything. Another example, another client of mine had been going through severe pain issues. All the doctors and the physios had said she's fine, but she was still experiencing pain and distrust in her body. So our process is very slow. And when we looked back and I asked her, okay, well, what is progress now? What does this look like? And we went back step by step of her coming in with 2 crutches, from not being able to lie on the side of her body to not being able to be scared to do the reformer at all, to now we are having 3 springs on the reformer. She walks around without her crutches. She could do feet and straps. She can walk without pain. That is incredible. The progress, it doesn't mean fancy exercises. Progress for her was experiencing her body, trust that we can get to a place without pain, trust that she can experience her life in a way that is going to be not that she's always second guessing the next step that her leg is going to buckle out underneath her. So coaching then creates space for these moments and for these talks. It's not always about having perfect plans. Sometimes it's about abandoning the plan that you have. So for example, this last client that I'm talking about, I had a wonderful plan for her on one day, and she came in, and instead of working on my perfect class plan, we just worked on walking. That was it. That's all we did was walking with beautiful posture, walking with breath, walking with confidence. And that was what she needed in that moment. But I had to be there. I had to be present for her. To have the right presence for her in the moment was the most beautiful thing that I could have gifted her. And it was that moment that shifted everything. It was the next training that we had that we got to do a little bit of reformer. And it was great. It was great. But it's about being there for that connection. So you don't need to overhaul your style or get another certification to start coaching. It begins with the intention and attention. So here are some tools that you can start right away with. I want you to ask instead of assume. It's not just about personal training. You could do all of these within a group class. Instead of assuming, did everyone feel that in their abs? Try, where did you feel that the most? What did you notice? Questions like that invite reflection, and it helps clients tune in. Even if you're not expecting a verbal response, it gets them to reflect back into their bodies. I want you to use their names, and I want personalized cues. When someone hears their name paired with feedback or encouragement, they feel seen and respected, right? So nice work on holding your spine long, Martina. Or great job on your posture today, Martina. Or James, I noticed that you stayed in that breath even when it got tough. Notice what they're doing. And I would like you to notice the things that they're doing well. Comment on it. That will help their growth. That is what a coach is going to do. I want you to build in moments of pause. End the class with, what's one thing that you learned about your body today? Or what's one thing that you're proud of that you accomplished today? Or how do you feel different now than when you walked in? It's simple. It's powerful. They don't need to tell you. They just need the time to reflect before they go right back into the busy world that there are. Another way is to thread a theme throughout your class. So maybe you're choosing a concept of balance or grounding or breath and weave it throughout. Mention it through the warm-up, maybe the main sequence, and again, that cool down. It creates cohesion and helps clients feel like their experience has a deeper purpose in there. And if you need some ideas on what kind of themes are out there in the Pilates world, then hit me up. I have literally a whole free ebook about this, 100 Pilates class themes. Grab it. It's fun. It'll pique your inspiration in there. I would like you to celebrate process. Praise curiosity, praise effort, praise consistency, and not just the form. So examples of how that sounds. I love how you tried that variation today, even if it was a little wobbly. Showing up today, even when your energy was low, oh my gosh, that's huge. Great job. These coaching moments build trust, and it builds that transformation because we're recognizing here's where we are, here's what you're doing. I see it. I see that hard work, and we're going to go further with it. And there's a deeper layer to all this because your mindset as a teacher matters just as much as your skill set. A lot of us operate without even realizing it from a fixed mindset. It's that inner voice that says, I should already know how to do this. If I mess up, I'm a bad teacher. Everyone else seems more confident. And that mindset, that fixed mindset keeps us stuck. It feeds perfectionism and it makes us afraid to try new things or connect more deeply. And I want, like I've talked about this last episode, growth mindset on the other hand says, I'm still learning. If things didn't go perfectly, that's okay, but I grew from it. It's okay to be a work in progress. So the more you embody your growth mindset, the more you grow, the more you model that for your clients. So it's about reframing. Instead of maybe you don't recognize when or in the moment, you don't acknowledge when you didn't cue something well, but you can. You could say, oh, I'm practicing a new way of saying this. It didn't work out, but let's try it again. Or, hey, I understand what I said didn't make sense. Let me try it a different way. Or if a client gives you feedback, yeah, you know what? That didn't work out. That's great feedback, and I'll use it for the next time. You're modeling what you want your clients to do. Instead of saying, oh, I should have done that better, I said, that's my best for today, and I'm going to adjust moving forward. When you start teaching like a coach, something shifts. You're going to feel more connected to your clients. You get clearer on your own purpose. You're going to stop chasing perfection and just start showing up just to be present for them. You're going to create experiences, not just workouts. Although we've talked a lot about how there's a performance aspect, but you're not just about being a performer in there. You are a partner in someone else's growth. It's like you're the dance partner in creating growth there. And your clients, they're going to feel it. They're going to stay longer. They're going to trust you more. They're going to refer their friends. And most importantly, they're going to grow with you. So here's your gentle reminder. You don't have to be a perfect teacher to be a powerful one. You just need to be present, curious, and real and connected. So try one of these coaching tools in your next class. Ask one more question, pause a little bit longer, celebrate effort over polish and over perfection. See what happens. If you enjoyed this episode and you love it, rate it, share it with another teacher. If you're looking to deepen your coaching skills, maybe explore our Train the Trainers program or check out our free burnout recovery guide. All of that is in the show notes. Your work matters, and so do you. See you in the next episode. Happy teaching, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed the conversation. A great cost-free way of supporting us and the podcast would be to give us a 5-star rating. You could also look down into the show notes and grab any one of the free resources for teachers. I hope to see you next week on the Pilates Exchange. Happy teaching, everyone.